Tonight's I-Team report, Pillars of the State Police. Why one of Chicago's top Muslim leaders may not be allowed to work as a chaplain for Illinois' top law enforcement agency.
Investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy is here with the story. Chuck?
Ron Cathy, the Illinois State Police Department currently has 37 chaplains, volunteer clergy who provide spiritual support for troopers, other employees, and their families. Most are Christian, some are Jewish, and until last December, none was Muslim. That is, when a Chicago Islamic leader named Kifah Mustapha went through the training and became the department's first Muslim chaplain. It's pillar of the state police. Police work can be stressful and sometimes traumatic. Chaplains are there to take the edge off.
If there's any crisis, we do crisis intervention. Very often we're involved in critical incident debriefing.
Last December, this man became the department's first and only Muslim chaplain. Sheikh Kifah Mustapha was one of 7 ministers who went through chaplain orientation training. At the end of the training that Mustapha paid for himself, he was among those who received their Illinois State Police ID cards and bulletproof vests they are required to wear on ride-alongs and at crime scenes.
He was admitted to the post. He went through the training, through the vetting and selection process, and everything was hunky-dory.
Here at the Mosque Foundation of Chicago, where Mustapha is the top religious leader known as Imam and one of the best-known Islamic leaders in America, his appointment as a state police chaplain was heralded as good news to more than 500,000 Metro Chicago Muslims.
He is a man of great integrity. He is looking to truly serve this country and his community. Muslims who serve every day in the Illinois State Police deserve a chaplain of their own faith.
But not everyone welcomed Mustapha's new position with the state police.
At first I thought it was another Kifah Mustapha. I could not believe that it would have been the same Kifah Mustapha who was associated with a terrorist organization and who was listed a year and a half ago as an unindicted co-conspirator in a terrorist case that the government won.
Early this year, Steve Emerson's Terrorism Research Project website began posting videos and documents critical of Mustapha and questioning his appointment as an Illinois State Police chaplain.
His appointment in Illinois is one of the most shocking developments and demonstrations of government ineptitude that I've ever seen.
When that criticism of Mustapha trickled back to Illinois State Police, things changed. According to this police statement, in early January, the ISP became aware that Mr. Mustapha was potentially identified as a member of the Muslim Brotherhood's Palestine Committee. An immediate review of our background process began.
Our concern is that the Illinois State Police is kowtowing to articles online published by notorious anti-Muslims.
Emerson, an oft-quoted, self-styled national security expert who has testified before Congress, posted public Justice Department documents on his website that cite Mustapha as a member of the Muslim Brotherhood's Palestine Committee, an organization that federal prosecutors say raises money for Hamas, is committed to the globalization of Islam and violent jihad. Such membership resulted in Mustapha being named as an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation case, the largest terrorism financing prosecution in American history.
The unindicted co-conspirator list, which, by the way, is never usually made public by the Department of Justice, and in this case, for some inexplicable reason, was, it is not a conviction.
During this deposition in a 2001 civil terrorism suit, Mustapha admitted being the registered agent for Holy Land Foundation in Illinois, soliciting money for Holy Land programs until the group was frozen by U.S. authorities.
It is essentially this guilt by association.
CAIR Civil Rights Director says state police officials have no legal basis to deny Mustapha the chaplain position. Now, even though all 7 new chaplains have been told to refrain from any state police work, it was only Sheikh Mustapha's background that raised alarms here in Springfield.
The fact that a man who has been fully associated with an Islamic terrorist organization that specialized in suicide bombings is made chaplain of the state police in Illinois is absolutely horrifying.
It is very important to us that the relationship between law enforcement and the Muslim community be one based on mutual trust, where the accepted leaders of this community do not have to be second-guessed as a result of some notorious, dubious individual on the internet.
State police officials declined to discuss on camera, but tonight say the resubmitted background checks are underway and they don't know when or whether Sheikh Mustapha or the others will pass muster. As for Mustapha himself, despite being a very public figure on radio and TV, he asked CAIR to speak for him until the state police determine whether to allow him as a chaplain.
All right. Thanks, Chuck.